When we're going to talk about manipulating expressions, we need to look at the pieces of those expressions. And one kind of piece that an expression might have is what's known as a term. Terms are parts of an expression that are constructed with multiplication and division and are combined using addition. Notice I said addition, not addition and subtraction. When we want to look at the terms in an expression, we must rewrite any subtraction that we see as adding the opposite. As you become really experienced with this, you might not need to physically rewrite it. You might start to see subtraction as addition. But in the beginning, I want you to actually rewrite it. So, if we want to identify the terms in an expression, what do we do? As I describe this process, I'm going to show you a simple example, and then I'll show you a more complicated example using the same process. This is the example we're going to work with, 3x minus 5x plus 12y plus 7. Our first step is to find every addition or subtraction sign that is not inside a grouping symbol. So here, here, and here. Once we've done that, we want to rewrite any subtraction we see as adding the opposite. So I have 3x, and now I see a subtraction sign. So I'm going to say that's plus the opposite of 5x. And then I have 12y plus 7. Notice I only had one instance of subtraction here, so I only needed to rewrite once. Once we've done that, the plus signs now separate the terms. So my first term is this 3x. My second term is this negative 5y. My third term is 12y. And my fourth term is 7. I have a 3x, a negative 5x, a 12y, and a 7. Okay, let's go through the same process with a more complicated expression. So this is a big, complicated expression. It has some parentheses in it. There could be a lot of work to do here. To identify the terms, though, we follow exactly the same process. We find every plus or minus sign that is not inside a grouping symbol. Notice I'm ignoring these because they're in parentheses. So now I have a rewrite step. Everywhere I have subtraction, I'm going to write it as adding the opposite. So 2x squared I leave alone. Instead of minus, I'm going to have plus negative 11x. This big complicated term, 14 times x plus 3 in parentheses, I'm going to leave that alone. This is a minus, so I'm going to rewrite that as plus negative 5x times x plus 3 in parentheses. I'm using brackets here just so you can tell the difference from the parentheses. And then another minus sign, so plus negative 18xy. Excuse me, that was x squared y. And now I can identify my terms. I have a 2x squared term, negative 11x term, a 14 times something in parentheses, negative 5x times something in parentheses, and negative 18x squared y. Those are the terms in this expression. And this process of 3 steps will always let you find the terms, no matter how complicated your expression is. One more really weird and complicated example. If I look at this expression, there are no addition or subtraction signs, not inside grouping symbols. Even though it's big and complicated and contains some addition and subtraction, this has only one term.